Okay, I get it. Crypto's down. Cardano's down like 50%. Bitcoin's down 50%. Crypto is just down. Everybody's bearish. Not everybody, but a lot of people are bearish, talking about the bear market. We on this channel have been exploring the possibilities of further downside, preparing for that scenario, how to prepare, how to accumulate. But I want to take a step back for one video, and I just want to talk about the bullish possibilities. What if Cardano phase 2 of this bull market is just beginning? What if this is a very big reset on the Cardano charts? What if the altcoin explosion hasn't even happened yet? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into this Cardano video. It's zoomed out on the weekly. I want to start here. This is so important. Somebody I think it was yesterday said, sometimes I just can't comprehend how bullish you are. I think most people that really watch my content know I'm bullish, but I retweeted and I said, I'm always very, very bullish. I just contain how bullish I am because I understand the potential downside in the short to midterm. And I want people to be prepared for that volatility. As YouTube has grown, it's become necessary for me to watch how I say things. It's tough. There's a lot of new investors entering into the crypto ecosystem, especially Cardano. And like when I'm doing videos, it's difficult for me because I even if we're entering a bear market, even if we're about to hit 50 cents or below, I'm just sitting here in my mind, I'm bullish. And I don't want that to come across all of the time in my videos because that's a big dip from where Cardano is right now. So I don't want to portray this scenario where it's just, sunshine and rainbows. 100% to the upside is all that is in store for Cardano. There's always possibility and risk to the downside. And it's probably best to talk about that more and just enjoy the gains. But in this video, I want to break down the charts because listen, there is so much potential for the continuation of this bull market. And really, truly, and I want to go to Bitcoin chart. I want to show you something. Let me go to the Bitcoin weekly. This is Bitcoin zoomed out. Right now, it's just been grueling for the last couple of months, this dip that you see on the screen. But that's what everybody's seeing. And hindsight is 2020, right? But we've talked about this revisit to the 1618 line of this macro Fibonacci that you see here. What that is, and in case you haven't seen me chart it, is the bull market to bear market to this 1618. Bitcoin revisited it. Did the same thing in the middle of the last bull markets. Now, what did Bitcoin do after that? Continuation. Notice also just around, just under 400 days post the 2020 or 2016 halving. Here's the 2020 halving, almost 400 days post. We're on a timeline schedule kind of in the middle of this bull market still and hovering at this 1618 line similar to the last bull market. So I want to show you something. If crypto just turns bullish once again and all of a sudden it happens, crypto explodes, this is what Bitcoin will likely look like, something like this. And obviously maybe not as dramatic, not the volatility of it might be different, but just generally something like this. And you can expand this, you can shrink it, can kind of like, take it to next spring. You can do whatever you want with it. But at the end of the day, if Bitcoin's going to make a move to the upside, you can just see the flow, the rhythm of Bitcoin making its way into the continuation of the bull market, breaking 100,000 potentially, maybe even going more parabolic than that, who knows? But now that you see this, if say this happens and it's January 2022 and Bitcoin's like $90,000, looking back on a chart then, if this is what the chart looks like, everybody's going to be like, wow, yeah, I remember that dip. But wow, it makes sense. Like 1618 support, middle of the bull market, it was volatile, but hey, crypto's volatile, Bitcoin's volatile, it's always volatile. It's going to make way more sense there when you're not living in the emotionality of the situation. And this is the case for the continuation of the bull market. It's very simple. It's not guaranteed. Bitcoin can fail here. We've talked about that. We've talked about that a lot, especially in the last week. And I don't want to talk about that in this video. I want to talk about upside. And this is what I have fun talking about. I was with a buddy today. Like we're mainly talking about the potential for upside. We're just having fun with it. And I just like to shoot from the hip sometimes and just talk about the continuation of the bull market. Here's Cardano on the weekly chart. Finally, we're here on the Cardano chart. And I just want to talk about something. This could totally be the case where Cardano is consolidating now for entering phase 2 of this bull market. If you look at Ethereum, this is Ethereum in the middle of the last bull market, right? We just looked at Bitcoin in the middle. This is what Ethereum was doing. Basically a 70% dip. Imagine the fear of Ethereum holders at that time when Ethereum was dipping 70% in the middle of the last bull market. And look what it did. Phase 2 to the continuation. Now, if you go to the, not LTC, Ethereum BTC pair, this is what the Ethereum BTC pair looked like. We don't have such data for the entirety of the last bull market for ADA. I want to use Ethereum. So Ethereum, you can see the swing high, and then actually Ethereum in the middle of the last bull market just tanked against BTC. And then here was that last huge pump that altcoins saw at the end of 2017 into 2018. And I just want to give you a quick glance of that on the charts. This is what it looks like, that huge pump at the end of the year, 2017. And look what happened, right? Reset in the middle, pump. Now, if we go and we explore Cardano on the weekly, this chart, yeah, 50 to 60% dip. But is it a reset in the middle of this bull market? We know where we are in the timeline in terms of cycles. We just looked at it on Bitcoin. There's a case for the continuation for Cardano. And you can go over here to the daily chart and we can really start illustrating, again, this is potentially what it could look like. And this is very speculative. Please take this, don't take this as exact data. This is extremely speculative. You can lay it out however you want on the chart. Same thing with what we were just doing with Bitcoin. But this could be a case of Cardano bouncing off of this 200-day moving average right here. It just did it on this daily chart. Talked about this, I think, in today's earlier video. We got a very similar move back in the consolidation area in September 2020, and that was coming off of the Shelley hard fork, right? So consolidation to 200 moving average. And then we have consolidation after the Shelley hard fork into finally the 200 moving average. This would be a very similar bounce for Cardano from where it is right now, at the very least, for Cardano to continue its way into the bull market. Now, what's interesting is you can see, even if it does this, right, in this scenario that we have on the chart, there can be just a lot of unknown. It could go on for all summer. And we have to track that on the short-term charts. That's why I do daily videos. But this is potentially what it could look like going into just that explosive ending to the bull market, hovering up in the $10, maybe $10 range, $10 plus range. Maybe we hit $8, who knows? But this is what it potentially could look like on the daily chart. Now, in terms of Bitcoin, we just talked about what Bitcoin looks like, kind of testing that 1618 support. Well, if we look at this daily chart, Cardano right now, the bull market high, let me shrink this a little bit. Bull market high, bear market low. Here's the bull market doors, this green channel that Cardano broke into. And you can see Cardano never even broke above the 1618 yet, right? And this is a very big deal. We saw rejection off the all-time high back into the bull market door support. And you can just see Cardano, there's a very strong case. Cardano bounces off that support, maybe quicker than we speculatively see here on the chart, but finally makes a break through the 1618 line that you see here on the screen. And you can see even speculatively with this bars pattern that I have here in purple, right here is right around smart contracts going live, right? So this could happen quicker if this were to happen. By the way, I just a quick disclaimer. If this happens, this is not guaranteed, everybody, for anybody that I need to say that to. This is just me having some fun talking about the continuation of the bull market, because just as it is a possibility that Cardano fails and Bitcoin fails and we're falling and we're hitting 50-cent targets, 70-cent pattern targets, there's also a possibility for upside. And this is, in my opinion, how the data kind of formulates itself based on historical data, where we could get a move like this. And again, it could play out way different, right? This is kind of just what I'm playing out on the charts, bouncing off of this area. Maybe we get it faster. Maybe it's more volatile. But this is potentially what it could set up to look like. Now, this is where it starts. And this is that short-term chart that we're also used to and we're living in. And there's just emotion here. There's volatility here. And it just always starts here. Now, if we're looking at a 6 hour and we're kind of zoomed out, we're really looking for the bottom, right? This bottom, so that Cardano can make a reversal and start kind of making a solid move like we see here. And this is what it looks like on the 6-hour. What it would end up looking like, we don't know. We have to track. We have our resistance areas currently $1.36 down to $1.28 area. That's a Fibonacci. That's a short-term Fibonacci from this last swing high before we just got this drop off. We're seeing if Cardano can make its way back up and above this area. That's the very short-term resistance. Now, all the resistance above, we have a 20-week moving average here around $1.33. We have the $1.50 area around $1.50. We have the 50-day moving average at $1.63. It's a ton of resistance. And this is the move we'd be looking for Cardano in the short term to complete the re-entry of the bull market, the re-entry of, phase two, the starting point of phase two, I should say. And we're looking for a bottom. And again, we can take our bars pattern. There's a lot of similarities in terms of this bottom that we had when we wicked to like 89 cents back here in April. A bottom like that potentially for Cardano could look like something like this, moving us out of this consolidation. Again, not guaranteed, but something like this to get us through all the resistance that we have here, all this resistance we just talked about. And you can even see with this bars pattern, seeing resistance right here just below this incredible resistance, the $1.50 area to the 50-day moving average around $1.63. And look, this is towards the end of June. Then we're in July potentially, and we're still hovering below that area. There's a lot of resistance. Maybe the bears are they look like they're winning, and then boom, we get that explosive move going into smart contracts. Going back to the weekly, this is what I'm talking about. This is, putting charts aside, this is where it's at. The story of Cardano ecosystem, the story of its growth, I won't stop repeating it. Staking came into play. The multi-asset ledger came into play. We were just talking about the completion of Goguen right here on the Cardano roadmap. It's going to happen. The integration of all of these things. You go back to the weekly, and we have smart contracts coming up. The fundamentals, the growth of Cardano ecosystem right now, putting aside the potential technically on the charts for Cardano to continue up to the upside, you sprinkle in all the fundamentals and what Cardano is building right now and what's actually going to happen in terms of Cardano stealing market share from Ethereum. Here's the chart. There's a lot of potential for this could be a higher low for Cardano, continuation to the upside. Same thing if you look at the A to BTC pair. I talked about this earlier. This is potentially what we could look like for the A to BTC pair going into the continuation of this bull market. I'm telling you, there's a lot of room for Cardano as it continues to build and get attention in this entire crypto ecosystem. This is my bullish Cardano video. I wanted to just throw out there. It's what if I'm sitting around a table with a buddy, this is what I'm talking about. These types of things. And I want to be cautious with how often I do it because I truly want the best for all of you. I want you to be prepared for the crazy volatile moves to the downside. The dips are crazy. And you want to be prepared. You don't want to spend more money than you could afford to lose. But there is a lot of potential to upside. The data is there. I want to share it with you. And this is what it potentially looks like. Everybody, appreciate you cruising by. If you're not staking, stake with CCV3. We're getting very close across our pools. I think we might have minted 1,000 blocks. And we're growing these things. And we have a lot of cool ideas over here to help the community. And hopefully we'll be discussing that soon. But appreciate all of your support as we grow this little small ecosystem at Crypto Capital Venture. Appreciate all of you coming by. Let me know your thoughts below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What are you thinking? How are you doing? Hit the subscribe and like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.